My name is Happy Haynes, and it's my privilege to serve as the Executive Director of Denver Parks and Recreation, and I'm so excited to welcome all of you here this morning. So thank you for being here on this beautiful Colorado day. And I see we have amongst us many partners and volunteers, media, and community members in attendance for this great celebration. So on behalf of the Department of Parks and Recreation, I'd like to welcome you to the new First Creek at Den open space. This becomes the largest open space in our entire park system here in Denver, and we're so proud. Right next to what is really the crown jewel of natural areas in this state, the Rocky Mountain Arsenal National Wildlife Refuge. So the vision for preserving this land and making it available to the public for recreation and just getting away from it all began with our own Deputy Director of Parks, Scott Gilmore. Where's Scott? Raise your hand. He and his family would walk their dogs over in this area, and he began to get a gleam in his eye, and he really saw the potential that this property had, not only in terms of its natural resources, including all the vegetation and the wildlife, and those of you who got a chance to take the carts up could see so much in regard to the wildlife and the vegetation all along. But more importantly, it provides an opportunity for the public, for the communities that live near here, to get outdoors and to get into nature and to just a wonderful recreation amenity. So I want to warn you, if you see Scott Gilmore walking around in your neighborhood, watch out. Because he's thinking some kind of park, some kind of natural area for sure. But we're grateful for that vision. And he had a partner in crime in this effort with Ken Ho at Denver International Airport. So between the two, they initiated a concept to combine the natural resource management of Denver Parks and Recreation with this airport land to create an open space that provides the fastest growing area of our city, a much needed area of nature and just escape from the city life. What began as a vision for interagency collaboration has become a beautiful reality today. This interagency partnership is providing one more place in our beautiful park system of over 6,000 acres of land in Denver and 14,000 acres of mountain parks, a welcome place for individuals and communities to connect with nature and to be active outdoors, especially our young people. We are on a mission in Denver Parks and Recreation to get our young people outdoors and out away from their screens, or they'll have to bring their screens with them. The native prairie and cottonwood trees that you see all along are home to a variety of wildlife, including bald eagles, golden eagles, red-tailed hawks, burrowing owls, coyotes, badgers, and prairie dogs. And as I took the ride along the pathway all the way across Pena Boulevard, I noticed all kinds of waterfowl in the water, a crane, literally 100 yards from a tractor, some local ducks, a crane, some egrets, and I was whizzing by too fast to see, and I know they're out there, nests of some of our raptors that I mentioned. So this is truly a treasure right in our own backyards. This collaboration with Denver International Airport shows what can happen when you get creative and you leverage your assets to bring new and improved amenity to a city's residents and visitors. I'd like to thank again Scott Gilmore from Denver Parks and Recreation, Kelly Ewing, Kelly, raise your hand, our city naturalist, the Rocky Mountain Arsenal National Wildlife Refuge, and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Thank you. And as always, our Northeast District Parks and Recreation employees. And would please raise your hands. And I want to acknowledge all of our Parks and Rec employees here today. Please raise your hands and be acknowledged. And particularly Yolanda Quesada and Cindy Karvaski, who helped put this event together today. Thank you very much. I don't see Thad Jacobs here. He's our Parks and Rec Advisory Board member who represents this area and has been a wonderful advocate for the parks and the open space and all the recreation out in this area. And before I turn it over to our wonderful partner from Denver International Airport, I'd like to acknowledge a few others who are here with us today. And you'll hear from her a few minutes from now. Councilwoman Stacy Gilmore, she's behind us, thank you. Lori Panetta, who is here with Environmental Learning for Kids, and the Elk Kids are here. Give them a big hand. They are our future naturalists. They're going to be following in Scott Gilmore's footsteps, wandering around the community, trying to figure out where they can put open space and natural areas. I'd like to acknowledge Bob Finch, our Director of Natural Resources for the department. Jay Henke, our trails, head of our Trails and Planning Department, who overlooked the fact that I was riding my bike without my helmet this morning. Nick Kotzer from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, thank you, and thank all of you for being here today. John Martinez, our Deputy Manager, Deputy Executive Director for Recreation. John's going to be responsible for getting our kids out of the recreation centers and out here on the ground. Anthony Graves, who is our Regional Director for the city, thank you. And Dr. Kelly Kazi from the Mile High Youth Corps, who's had her kids out here helping to clean this up and make it look as wonderful as it does today. Thank you all for being here. And I want you all to give a great hand to our facilities department. They're always, no matter where, they don't even say where. When you say you want an event and you want a podium and you want a mic and you want something, they don't even pause anymore to say where. They just come. So thank you to our facilities folks for being out here in the prairie with us this morning. And now I'd like to say a big thank you to my partner, Kim Day of Denver International Airport, for her leadership and her vision and her foresight in making this partnership a reality. Please join me in welcoming her now.
Thank you, Happy. What a delight it's been for us to collaborate with Happy and Parks and Rec on this project. Mayor Hancock, Councilwoman Gilmore, we're so thrilled to be here today. And I want to thank not only all of you behind me, but all of the people at Denver International Airport who made this happen. Let me especially mention Daryl Jones, Mitch Traeger, who are the Den Real Estate team, Eric Haraga, Chief of Staff, Airport Legal, Javier Duran, I see Deb Overn here, Stu Williams, who's Vice President of Projects. Can we give them all a hand? And just a special shout out to Scott Gilmore and the amazing team at Parks and Rec. Hey, what a great day this is today, huh? We're so happy to be part of this partnership that really benefits our community. And as you know, we are poised at Denver International Airport and doing a major development on all this beautiful land that is part of our asset. By doing our development, we're going to boost the economy, we're going to generate revenue that we can use to make the airport better, but we're also going to support and develop the mayor's big picture a vision of a corridor of opportunity. And it's imperative as we look at this development that we remember that we need to maintain open space and that we need to create places for recreation. You know, this park is 200 acres of airport land that our community can now enjoy right next to the fabulous Rocky Mountain Arsenal National Wildlife Refuge. This is a place that visitors can come and really enjoy Colorado's natural landscape and wildlife. Eventually, it'll serve as a trailhead connecting to Montbello, Green Valley Ranch and Parkfield, Commerce City, and to the refuge. It will help showcase why Denver, Colorado is the best place to live in the world. So thank you, Parks and Rec. Thank you, Mayor Hancock, for your continued support in making this airport the premier airport in the world, both inside and outside, and to be able to provide this wonderful amenity to our community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kim. And this next individual, when it comes to kids, there's no greater advocate, and she has spent much of her adult career working on our mission now, and that is to get kids outdoor into nature. And so I want you to give a great big welcome to our city councilwoman who represents this area fiercely, Councilwoman Stacy Gilmore.
All right.
Thank you. Well, good morning. I think everybody has been acknowledged, and I appreciate that, because this is a project that doesn't happen without partnership. And from Denver International Airport and Kim Day and her team, to the mayor's office, to U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, they've all been great partners. And, you know, I have to share with you a personal story. When I was contemplating a life change and a career change, moving from environmental learning for kids and our wonderful youth that you're always out so early and you represent so well, a true life change from running an educational nonprofit with Elk to running for city council. I actually contemplated that huge life decision while I was out here walking on the First Creek, Dennett First Creek open space. And so really utilizing nature, and you can feel the great little breeze, you can feel the warmth of the sun, and you know, really seeing the nesting bald eagles that make their home out here, the red-tailed hawks. We now have black-footed ferrets out on the refuge as well, and we have bison, which is something that a lot of folks don't realize and don't know, even close to home in Montbello and Parkfield and Green Valley Ranch and High Point. And so really to look at this as a true amenity and resource for the entire community, and most importantly for our residents. A lot of times people don't feel like they might have someplace where they can just get on their bike or go for a run or go for a walk that is really close to home. And I have to credit Elk students with asking me those very hard questions when we would take them different places, and they would look at the amenities maybe in other communities and say, Stacy, why do we not have this right here in our neighborhood? And honestly, I didn't have a good answer, because there isn't necessarily a good answer. And so to really see this come full circle today, I expect this parking lot to be filled on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and then have a great, you know, regular users during the rest of the week. And it's a great feel-good story, because the Rocky Mountain Arsenal, it was a Superfund site. It was something that was very significant to the Montbello and surrounding communities as a Superfund site that needed to be cleaned up by the EPA. And now it's cleaned up. Now it's a national wildlife refuge that other cities were, you know, they're jealous of what we really have in this area. And as you're able to ride your bike or walk or run along Buckley Road right here, I just encourage you all to take that next step and that charge and share it with somebody else that might have driven by here their entire life and said, well, I don't know what that is. It's just a parking lot. People just, I don't know what they do out there. It's up to all of us to share that vision and dream with them, because nature is truly healing, and the educational opportunities and the amenities that we have are bar none some of the best out here in District 11, and we truly deserve that in District 11. And so without further ado, I will hand it back to Happy Haynes, and just encourage you to come out here and check it out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilwoman Gilmore. I wish you could be a little bit more excited. She's so passionate about serving this community, and particularly the young people in this community. And I'm sorry I didn't put the prairie dogs on the agenda. I should have, I guess. I'd like now to introduce someone to you who I keep talking about champions for kids. And when you have good things happening, what happens is those people come together. You find them all in the same places. And today we have no greater champion for the kids in our communities. And this mayor, every time we do something in our department or any of our departments, he's figuring out the angle about what it can do for the young people in our community. And whether it's open space or jobs at Denver International Airport, whatever it is in this community, he always has the future of this city, which is our kids, in his heart and in his mind. And so it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to our mayor, Michael B. Hancock.
Thanks, Happy. Thank you, Happy. Thank you all for being here. And I got to tell you that as I was listening to Stacy talk, and looking over here at the Elk, young people from Elk, it dawned on me when she announced she was running for city council. I called one of her opponents and I said, "It's over, dude." I said, she has raised just about every young person in the far Northeast. It's done. It's nothing to go to her home and to see 50 young people hanging out at her house. And so we really do truly have a champion. Now, she didn't finish the rest of her story. When she walked this trail and she was confronted by a coyote, and she outran that coyote, is when she decided, if I can handle this coyote, I could run for city council. And so that's what helped her make that decision. Remember telling me that story? I want to congratulate everyone who's been involved. Let me certainly thank Happy Haynes, her tremendous leadership and stewardship of the Parks and Recreation Department. Certainly to Councilwoman Gilmore, who's been a tremendous partner in helping to make all this happen. We could not be here without the vision and the know-how of Kim Day of the airport, and figuring out how to have this land transferred to be a part of the open space and making it available to not only our visitors, but to all the folks who live in this region. So Kim, thank you for your stewardship. This is truly unique. It's not just about land and planes. It's about being an asset to this metropolitan region. So we thank you, Kim, for that. Absolutely. And I know we have said his name 100 times. This Gilmore family has been paid dirt for Denver, I'm telling you. Scott Gilmore has added, just this year alone, over 500 acres of open space to our inventory. So Scott, thank you for being a champion for this. Thank you. It's been 2 years in the making and we're finally here. It was 2 years ago as Scott Gilmore and I took a tour of this open space. And he shared with me the vision of turning this over to the people and really encouraging the people to come out and to enjoy it. So here's what we want to say to the people of not just Denver, but in Adams County, in Commerce City, who abut this wonderful, treasured amenity. This belongs to you. We want you to enjoy it. We want you to come and walk the trails. We want you to outrun the coyotes like Councilwoman Gilmore. We want you to enjoy all that this wonderful amenity has to offer in the heart of our city. You don't see this anywhere else, where you have this wonderful wildlife refuge and this wonderful open space amenity right in an urban setting. For those of us who grew up here, it was nothing to wake up and to see a raccoon or an eagle flying over, hang out in the area. And so when people ask, why would you live way out there? we had something that no one else in the city had. And we got a chance to live in the outdoors or be near wonderful open space with wonderful wildlife while also enjoying the benefits of living in the urban setting. And so we are here with this almost 200 acres of land added to our portfolio, and it's about to get even better. So let me share with you an announcement. I am pleased to announce that Denver Parks and Recreation was just awarded a $50,000 grant from the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation to restore 200 more acres of prairie grassland habitat and construct an additional 6,600 feet of new trails right on this property. Thank you, National Fish and Wildlife, for your support. Come on, y'all can do better than that. Yes. This grant will create more access points into the Rocky Mountain Arsenal Wildlife Refuge, connecting residents and visitors to 7 square miles of nature and recreation opportunities right here in a rapidly developing Northeast Denver. This is the largest wildlife refuge in an urban setting in the country, correct? All right. I remember hearing that in Washington, D.C. Now, the good news doesn't stop there. I have one other announcement, so hold your hat for this one. The City of Denver formed a partnership with the City of Commerce City, Adams County, and the Refuge. Together, that partnership is receiving an additional $700,000 from the Colorado Federal Lands Access Program to further increase access to the refuge. 7 new, yeah, worth it. 7 new pedestrian access points will be added to the Arsenal in Montbello, Green Valley Ranch, Reunion, and Frontera neighborhoods. So we're creating access to this great area. The grant will revitalize the Rocky Mountain Arsenal Wildlife Refuge by allowing more collaboration between the cities that surround it. Coordination on the 56th Avenue expansion project will provide a safe pedestrian crossing point into the refuge. Travelers passing through Denver National Airport, DEN, will be able to visit the refuge via the new RTD commuter. Commuter A-line, which access to the connecting First Creek Trail. There will be more than 9 miles of new bicycle and pedestrian trails connecting to and through this refuge. And we will support, it will support the partnership between the Denver Parks and Recreation Natural Resource staff and the Rocky Mountain Arsenal Wildlife Refuge, surrounding municipalities, youth corps, and volunteer groups that will create learning opportunities and continued improvements to this land. Let me also join in thanking ELK as well as the Youth Corps. Kelly, it's good to see you and the young people who are here. Thank you all for what you've done here, and for being great stewards of all of our open space and our public spaces. So, all we've proved today is that when you work together and you think outside the box, big things happen. And so, as mayor, I'm proud to be here to help dedicate this to the people of the surrounding communities, and to all of us who will enjoy it. Enjoy it, and thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for being here today. We don't have a ribbon to cut because it would be too big. And so let's just give one more round of applause and shout out for our new First Creek at Den open space. And thank you all for being here today. Woo!